to the Viego that doesn't really have the same amount of range here, but both of these teams, lots of engage potential, lots of snowballing. It's two fast cars running headstrong at each other, and one of them does have to end in a terrific crash. You know, I like my pyrotechnics right here. So we're going to go into J-Team versus Impunity. Once more to lay out the stakes. J-Team are looking to hit 14 wins and potentially get that top spot in the standings, while Impunity, the best they can do is improve to 7th or hold on to 7th.
Yeah, for Impunity, it's really about trying to build any sort of momentum here. As they've been a team with a lot of trials and tribulations during this split because of how many roster shuffles have happened, and at this point in time they just need to find something that really works for them. And for J-Team, it's about maintaining momentum. As you mentioned, they can get to 14, and if they do so, they would guarantee themselves a tiebreak at the very least for first place.
Yep, they have so far played one less game compared to everyone else. Actually, Impunity is kind of in the same situation here, as they should play 2 matches today. And taking a look at the Summoners and the Keystone Runes here, we do have a more aggressive setup from Enzo this time. You know, not going with the heal, going with the Ignite. So, you know, am I reading this correctly? But is this going to be like Snowball City bot lane?
It will be interesting to see how it pans out. I think whenever you play into a silver lane, you do want to try and be a little bit more aggressive, even though the Zeri isn't necessarily one of those champions that can just pop off in the lane phase. But when you do, again, have this Vi pick and you have a Talia, you would favor J-Team's 4v4 potential over the side of Impunity, although Husky, would like to point out, has taken the Predator. So he's trying to sort of shore up some of the early aggression we don't get to see a lot of from Alex, and try and control this early game tempo himself.
We have seen a lot of different setups coming in from the Galio this time. Husky, unlike Nesty, you know, he's not going to go for the ghost, so it's not the full zoom Galio, but it's pretty close. Gets back to lane easier as well with the TP. And we are seeing both junglers now converge onto the top side. Kongra is spotted out here, so a little bit more vision coming in from the side of Impunity, as Kongra is able to just make sure that the jungler is not onto the top side here. He potentially threatens a dive, as is so well known with the Renekton into the top lane. Doesn't look like he's going to commit to it. Meanwhile, in the bottom side, wow, Little V taking a lot of damage so far. Already out of pots. He will be able to slowly heal up, though, with the Yuumi.
Yeah, the healing will be there. It might take a little bit to ramp up, as it will be a topside focus for Corner, and he's actually looking for a possible dive or really creative gank angle, which is what you can do with this Vi pick. Currently looks like they're looking for a 3-man dive.
Jackpot, though, is very healthy in terms of the HP department, but
no
as
mana,
you mentioned, Uniboy coming in. Rock starts to take one shot. The TP is in, and the burst damage goes through. Rock survives on a sliver of HP. That has got to be less than 50 there. And Husky comes in with the TP, but he's got nothing to do. Kongra Uniboy holding strong. First blood for J-Team.
Immediate teleport back coming in from Jackpot into the mid lane, so they aren't going to be heavily punished when it comes to lane allocations. At the same time, just a very well executed dive coming in from J-Team. One of the big things here with the turret changes is that you can still commit to very early dives, which is exactly what we see here, as tower doesn't hit quite hard, although because of that first tower shot, the second tower shot does almost get him here. But Rock, with the extra proc of the Triumph, able to survive in that instance. I believe he also got the level up. So
yeah,
double procs of HP boost, really cutting him some slack in that instance. And it's actually a massive win because Renekton can snowball some of this early pressure against the champion like Camille.
Absolutely, and in that replay, we saw the last take a plus 20 HP coming out of Rock on the top, saving him. So, unfortunately for Jackpot, not able to equalize that one. After the TP from Camille into the mid lane, we do have her now back into the top side. Alex gonna get some revenge, trying to establish vision for his top laner, but he doesn't spot Kongre just yet. Oh, I think he does spot the Raptors here. So both sides should know that the junglers are around the corner. Kongre going to walk over the pink ward. There you go. He does see it. And Alex now charging in with a level lead. And Galio very close by. As, ooh, this could be a reverse top lane gank tower dive. A 3v2, though, if they do commit to it.
It is level 6 on the Talia. They might try and pick off Kongre instead, since he's not the one close to tower, but Talia, of course, can catch up very quickly with her own ultimate. That's why they go ahead and back off. Another thing to note is just how perfect the setup is for Uniboy to really take over the game, right? Because you sort of have point-and-click CC with the Renekton and also with the Vi.
Oh, the bot lane though, we have a big fight. Little V takes the rain to the face. Oh, and he gets taken down by Yushin. Yushin just steps up to him, throws the pixie, and Little V dies out of nowhere. That seems to be a major miscalculation. As Little V held on to the flash, he was walking forward, and Yushin just guns him down.
Man, that's a big loss of resources there, because they also just throw down the control ward. That's a minus 75 in that instance, right into the middle of lane. Everything goes wrong for J-Team in that bottom side of the map. Lil V dying really hurts, as this is definitely a very high harass lane with the Lulu, and he doesn't even flash or any of that. He just gets autoed down by the support Lulu, and that's definitely a blunder you don't want to see.
A very awkward play. I think, did you just see Enzo's face right there? That was a very awkward smile coming in from Enzo, as JT really don't want Impunity to play spoilers to their plans of PCS domination here. We're going to take a look at the bot lane. Little V coming back into lane, but there's a lot of attention. Alex manages to sneak behind him. There are pings going down, so somehow J-Team is able to detect the Viego, but they have to back off immediately here. They're not going to have help from Vi, as Kongre is in the top side of the map, and that should be a free first Drake going over to the side of Impunity. Things not looking that stable for J-Team on the bottom end of the map.
Yeah, things looking great for Impunity. Able to get this bot lane going. And now Lil V's all by himself. His Yuumi has a little ways to go. Does have
He's got level 6, lightning crash going through, and he immediately flashes
Make
back.
a turn.
Oh, Yushin, taking a lot of HP, but he's not going to draw tower aggro as they walk out. And in the meantime, J-Team do take down the Herald here. We saw Rock pushing super hard against Jackpot throughout all of this, so all in all, it doesn't seem to be that bad of a trade for J-Team, as they could very well just get a kill here with the level 6 Vi and drop that Herald.
Yeah, we don't see the rotation coming in from Annex or Yusin towards that top half of the map, so J-Team are able to just go ahead, secure that Rift Herald. This is really important for them, because they've got more of that tempo-oriented draft with the Renekton, with the Talias, and so they really want to try and snowball this Renekton pick with that Rift Herald. Jackpot actually pulling the wave, able to establish a bit of a soft freeze, or at least slowed things down. And it's really all about how Uniboy now pairs up with Kongre, a very classic combination we've seen throughout the year as they look to take over the game.
Oh, Rock goes in. Jackpot is able to get out as Kongre just comes in for the opportunistic gank here. In the meantime, we have been seeing Uniboy just constantly hovering towards the top side of the map. Both of these mid laners thinking the exact same thing, as we just saw Galio and Talia both heading towards the top side when the minion waves have been cleared. Now the minion waves are back in, they show themselves, and Impunity heading towards the bottom here. They do have a huge pressure point with Little V not having the ultimate just yet, not having the flash. Let's see if they can find an angle of attack, or is it going to be Kongra as he pops out right in front of Yushin. Yushin is caught in no man's land, not enough time to react, but here comes the Galio plus the Viego to get the knockout onto Kongra.
Uniboy's here now.
Instantly flashes. Uniboy trying to cut people off. He's gonna land the seismic shove as Husky goes back in to try and help his team, but can he get out? The block from Kongra. Down goes Galio, and J-Team come up with a 2+ in the kill lead.
They cash out massively, and now they'll also be able to cash in on 2 more plates. Lil V, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be close enough to actually get the gold. Actually, it does. So it will be split among 3 members in that instance. Really nice little bit of cash out for the side of J-Team. And that's such a massive, massive play, as it does help Lil V get back into the game. As brought it on that control word, immediately they turn onto Yushin, and he's just not able to stall long enough with that ultimate to buy time. And Husky comes in, and it looked good, but because of the proximity to the wall, Lil V is actually able to stay safe and dodge out onto the damage from Husky, which allows him to actually rejoin the fight and participates, allowing him to net himself that next kill.
Big play from JT there. Uniboy was able to catch up to the play with the Weaver's wall coming through there, and he did have a great angle, just hurting everyone against the terrain, like you said. Now J-Team setting up for another Vi Yumi play into the mid lane. This is spotted out by Impunity, though. We have plenty of pings going down here. And into the top lane, Alex trying to find a kill onto Rock, but Brock flashes over. He's looking for the turnaround onto Jackpot. Not going to find the Camille, but he also stays alive. And in comes Kongra. It's been a while, but very easy to forget how terrifying Renekton can still be.
Yeah, the extra little bit of damage also really enforcing itself in that instance. Okay.
Ooh, Husky actually gets stopped by Uniboy and the body block. Husky's got no flash, nowhere to go. Kongra just gonna chase him down. Kill goes over to Uniboy, and wow, that was such a flashy play from Uniboy. Actually, just body blocking that.
Yeah, very clean execution onto the gank there from Uniboy. Again, this composition really set up for him to succeed very well. Being able to have 2 point-and-click CCs essentially with the Vi and the Renekton allows him to get really easy knockbacks. As now they're going to turn their attention over to this next dragon. It is a nice dragon to pick up, as it would deny the dragon stacking coming in from Impunity. And Impunity are just really waiting for the scaling at this point to kick in, for this Camille to be able to get online, and for the Sivir to actually get online as well, which...
Husky just going to be engaged upon Uniboy now with the first full burst combo. Ignite goes down, and down goes Husky once again. That Vi Yumi combo just taking names across the board. Now Uniboy still has that Weaver's wall. They're heading in towards the bot lane. Impunity running away with Little V chasing in onto them. They're not going to be able to make up that distance, but the idea was there, and now Impunity have to scramble everyone towards the bot lane just to hold this lane steady.
Looks like they wanted to just go for perhaps a reset gank there. As Lil V actually burns quite a few tools there. Burning that ultimate means that he only has the summoner spells to get out of a gank. Top lane is just kind of still short trades going back and forth, and it does look like Uniboy's or Lil V is just kind of stuck in no man's land trying to protect this tower, but he could come under fire.
And it just seems like Enzo has left him to his own devices here. First tower is going to go over towards Impunity. Small win for them. In the meantime, J-Team, they just like picking on Husky. Husky already 3 deaths in this game. We have Uniboy with the much earlier Mythic coming out, and Yumi has been non-stop going into Uniboy's lane. They're just setting up for a Herald right here. All members coming in across the map for Impunity as well, and maybe we finally get to see the Cannonball combo. That's the thing I've been missing so far from Impunity. They have yet to really utilize their engage tools. As Kongre pops around the corner, he's gonna get spotted. Alex goes in onto the Vi. Vi very low HP, gets taunted back, and down he goes. Now Alex
in the
is
back line.
able to use the abilities. Rock trying to ward off everyone, but he's going very low HP. He could just fall here, and the last crit does find him. Onyx is chasing down with the reset. Does he get him? No, Uniboy one hit away. Stays alive, but not so lucky for Little B. Oh, Uniboy gets a two-man seismic shove. Not enough to save everyone here. And JT, they just fall one by one. Impunity are back in it.
Oh my lord, Clement. That is a massive team fight for the side of Impunity. They go 4-for-1 in that instance. And all of a sudden, the game script literally just flipped on its head. We were saying, man, Kongre on this Vi with this Yumi is just so oppressive. They just can't do anything about it. But what's good against the Vi is when you just start up straight up 5v5s. And when you engage on a champion that's not Sivir, it gives her the extra airspace to now start auto-attacking, get those bounces going. As we get to see, it's a bit of a split situation, and because of how hard the Vi gets bursted down, it's so much of their team fight power removed straight off the bat. And this is the really big boon coming in from the Galio Camille combination, is that there's no way to outplay that as the Zeri because of the point and click easy execution onto that champion.
That was a weird positioning from J-Team. Like, they were actually, they were down one man at the start of the fight, and then they were chasing different targets. I felt like, you know, Rock was essentially body blocking for nothing as J-Team carries try to chase on the other direction. We are going to see a bit of a tower trade here. A lot of gold being funneled onto Uniboy. He's already 50 CS ahead and still split pushing. Meanwhile, Jackpot is going to get his share of the gold on the other side here, trying to get him to that point where he's going to be a side lane carry. And for Rock, I do want to point out, this is going to be a much more side lane focused build here. He is going to go for the Blade of the Ruined King first.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested in seeing what his next item will be. If it ends up being the Gore Drinker still, or maybe it's going to be something like the Stride Breaker, because you have the extra sustain now built in from the Blade of Ruined King. You can then go for something like the Stride Breaker now to really stick onto targets, especially like a Sivir, who's extremely quick.
Oh, so we
JT
have
will get into River first, but it's going to be a bit of a base race sort of trade situation.
J-Team, they moved all 5 members, while Impunity, they were just going for the towers, so they've got one already, inside track into the mid lane, but unfortunately for them, no minion waves. Onyx is going to be absolutely fine here, and it's about how much they can get in the top side here. Jackpot already starting to work on that tower with the Sheen procs here, and it looks like it's going to be one tower for Infernal. Not too bad overall for J-Team. Impunity fishing for an engage. Rock flashes forward, and Uniboy going in. Final chapter finally gets the stun, but there's the wild growth.
Oh
He
no,
goes
Jackpot.
down. J-Team are going to continue to fight into this one, but there's a lot of stuns being thrown on the other way. Polymorph.
Oh, look at the
is
ricochet.
big goal. He's still alive. Yushin getting out with the flash there. J-Team so far getting a 2-for-1. And they're going to be satisfied at defending their top lane tower.
Oh man, that was definitely really close though. As you can see, the Ricochet is already starting to do work. 2-item power spike coming in from this Sivir. And when everyone's just clumped up like that, there's just so much damage getting poured by that Sivir. And that fight definitely could have turned on its head. But the key thing in that fight, when we see the replay, is the fact that Husky goes down before they're actually able to activate the Cannibal comp. right? They throw down the Camille ultimate after Husky goes down. And because of that, you don't get the follow-up damage that's offered by that Galio. And we get to see the engage coming in from Kongria trying to keep Annex occupied. It also buys a little bit of extra time for them to finish off that next member before Annex just kind of mows them all down. However, Annex already doing a ton of damage even at this stage in the game. So J-Team does look like they're operating on a timer.
3-man gang squad trying to find Jackpot. They get the seismic shove here, and everything lands. Jackpot is a goner. Slow from Uniboy. He's now 4-0-4. Ooh, boy, that is a, those are some very hurtful stones that are being cast now on Rift. I think what we've seen from the fights so far is that whoever engages first just actually wins. There is no denying the focus fire potential from either of these teams. So whoever just is able to get the angle, instantly pop it, they usually win. Kongria going for another face check. I think I've seen this movement before. As he survives, the TP is able to zone. Rock takes a lot of damage into the front line. He's going to get out just fine in the end. But boy, oh boy, what a dicey situation that was. Impunity, lots of pings going down around this Baron now.
Yeah, Kongria really tempting fate. Yes, he's got a very efficient build with the Kempung Chainsword, but he doesn't have any durability, right? He's kind of just a bundle of HP at this point, as he is still waiting to complete that Sunfire. So when it comes to face checking, it's definitely a very dangerous situation for Kongria, and he's definitely at risk to get burst out. However, if he survives that burst, he's able to recover all that HP back because of the existence of just simply Yuumi, right? And when we look on the flip side, for the side of Impunity, they don't really have... Oh, Jackpot in trouble possibly again. He does spot
it out.
Kongria at least, though. There's just no grievous wounds quite built up early on. And part of that is because it's just much less efficient. But at the same time, if you're dealing with a Yuumi with Moonstone already completed, you probably need that.
Yeah, there's only one Ignite here and none of the heal reduction like you were talking about. We are going to head over towards the fourth Drake of the game, Infernal Soul. It will be here, so definitely high priority objective for both of these teams. J-Team going to take hold of the Scuttle, and it seems like so far J-Team does have the lead in terms of the frontline tanks, so they've been able to open up terrain just a little bit easier. Impunity typically waiting on J-Team to vacate the spots before they go in themselves. They are all grouped up together, very much well aware of the fact that J-Team could just burst one of them up. If they split up, we're getting some tense moments across the wall. Kongria does have that flash, but he's going to be targeted here. Jackpot going to the wall, doesn't find the stun. Good stuff from Kongria. He avoids potential disaster, and now we have Impunity with the inside track on the Drake. Jackpot goes in, able to block out.
It's only on Rock.
Stun. Rock goes down immediately. J-Team not able to react to this one, but is that enough of an edge for Impunity to actually start the objective? They're going to go for it. Uniboy is hovering around. Husky charges.
Still fight this.
He doesn't find this one. And in goes Kongria. They actually see the Infernal Drake. Kongria dies, but it doesn't matter. They get the objective just with the 80 carry. Littleby is going to walk out and even turn around to deal damage as the exhaust goes on to Jackpot. Alex also has to walk away here. So all in all, it's going to be Impunity with 2+ kills, but J-Team with the objective.
2-0, and because they were able to take down Kongria, they are going to turn their attention over to the Baron buff, and they certainly have more than enough damage to take this down very, very quickly. Lil V, Uniboy, can they stall? Of course, these zaps can do a lot of work. It's not going to find anyone, though.
He's going to run forward.
Rock's here.
We still have 2,000 HP, and Uniboy has made his way across the Baron pit. Finally, they are going to get the spike down. Impunity find the big purple worm, and everyone just rushes away. Can Littleby find anyone?
Are they going to stop the
to chase? Can they get any of these? All they need is just one Q from Yuumi. Rock going into the back line. not going to be able to stop Alex with the empowered TP and Impunity. They get out.
A big win for them. Even though they weren't able to get that next dragon to prevent J-Team from getting onto that sole point, they cash in with a massive monetary advantage, being able to get 2 kills and the Baron buff. Now they have the slight gold lead, which leads to extra stats, and also because of that Baron buff helps even out stats-wise temporarily against the additional Inferno Dragon already obtained by J-Team. So as things stand, they're in a bit of a power play, but for J-Team, they're certainly still comfortable with the situation. They just have to be able to withstand
Alex, he's in a really bad position, gets focuses down first. The Wild Growth not going to save him. And
no chance.
What was he doing there? That was, if you look at the rest of the map, he was so far up, and Kongre wants more. Yumi trying to get the chase down. Kongre doesn't have his ultimate anymore, but he's going to cut across those side lanes here. Husky with a good slow down on the taunt. Let's see if Rock can find anyone. He could still flash in. Yushin now the target. He goes down, and
stop the board.
Deja vu. This is so Impunity.
Yeah, they're really just risking it all, trying to get Jackpot to do to allow him to do what he wants right now. Of course, he didn't have the teleport, so he couldn't even join if he wanted to. But because he immediately runs straight for that top lane wave, okay, he's looking for the 1v1.
Now
Cannonball here.
Either one knocked up, but J-Team members are going to be here. Rock also has the flash.
Wait, the turn?
So it's going to re-engage. Coming in from Kongre, not sure about that one, and he just instantly goes down.
I think he really wanted to buy space for Rock to actually get out, but Rock was already out, and he ends up overcommitting. That's going to be a man sort of power play here for Impunity. That's massive. They're going to be able to break that tier 2 mid tower and maybe even snag that tier 2 bot. Doesn't look like they'll turn their attention over. They want to get these purchases in before the next dragon does spawn in 90 seconds. And they do have a lot of gold to play around with, as it is going to be Sivir now completing her 3-item power spike. This is where she does so much work in these team fights. One auto can just obliterate a team because of the ricochet.
I'm looking at the items here. I'm looking at the gold. This is probably the closest game we have seen, I think, the entire week, going up to 27 minutes into a critical infernal soul here. It's you know, it's really getting dicey. I feel like both of these teams, the last couple of team fights have been won or lost on honestly quite random picks here. So how should each side set up for this critical fight?
Yeah, for the side of Impunity, it's all about protecting Annex because of how strong he is. Even Jackpot, he's gone for the G8. Second item, so it doesn't have the necessary split push items. It's all about the team fight. For J-Team, they really need to protect Uniboy and Lil V, as they've got more of a spread out advantage with their damage output. And namely,
Jackpot could be the one being caught here. He does get interrupted. Galio has to come down to save him, but it's not enough. Jackpot pops into GA. Onyx trying to get into the fight. Hasn't found the angle just yet. He's opening up onto Kongre, but Rock goes into the back line. Yushin could just be falling to the Ultra Shock Laser. He is down. Double kill onto Little V, and he still has the stasis. He's going on for more. It's an 80 versus 80 build, and the crit goes down. Sivir is dead. Triple kill to Little V, and that's gonna be the Infernal Soul to JT.
And it's just, they end up catching out Jackpot. And that mistake cost them so much because the rest of the team aren't able to back him up fast enough. Yes, you have the Cannonball to help stall. Yes, you have a GA. But it's all for naught because you're just playing way too far out from the rest of your team. And they just don't respect the Talia. This Talia has just ran circles around them so far in this game. We get to see the replay. They're all occupied setting up for Dragon. Jackpot's just taking his bot lane. What are you doing? You're way too far out. Yes, you have the Galio to come in, but because of that wall, Alex can't come to bail you out. So he just essentially died for free, even though with that GA, buy some extra time, that's so much of their damage gone. And it allows you to just tunnel in onto the Sivir, right? The Sivir is like 90% of the damage. When you die out like that, they can just be like, well, all we have to do is just kill Sivir now.
I'm not mistaken in thinking that was completely unnecessary from Impunity, right? I just feel like the last couple of fights have just been so odd for Impunity because we've just seen random members just get picked off over and over again. They even had vision and positional advantage on top of the Infernal Drake. So
it's really just them hovering in the wrong areas, right? Either Impunity have to hover harder towards that bot half of the river, or Jackpot just has to respect the fact that they can collapse on him with Talia wall way too fast. Because this Talia just has so much damage that you're not going to last long if you get caught out by this champion, because she is 606 now, Clement, and she has almost the Flame Horizon. This champion is not throwing rocks, she's throwing mountains at you.
Much more damage output coming out from J-Team at this time point. As you said, the Talia damage is on board, the Infernal Soul is there. I feel like J-Team are done with subtlety, and they're just going to go all in. Rock is going to survive the initial burst right down here, but finally goes down, and that was a surprising turn of events as Impunity just taking over. Oh, but the damage onto Yushin. Little B nearly just 3-shots him. Impunity looking for an angle to go back in as they have vision of Uniboy. Good spider senses there by Kogure. Spots out that the re-engage from Impunity was a little bit fishy. Figured that they were standing on top of the ward, and they're going to take a much more calm track now that they are playing without their top laner.
And I would still say that if Impunity are given the time to actually organize the team fight, and they're the ones initiating the fight, they actually do feel like they're in a comfortable spot, right?
We just saw it.
When the Wombo combo actually comes through with the Camille Galio combination in a proactive manner, then J-Team can't do a whole lot about it, right? Because you split Lil V away from the fight. And this is onto like the frontline tank, right? This is all the engage poured onto Rock. And the side of J-Team, if they lose Rock that quickly, not a lot of frontline left, because even though Kogure is going for this tank build, doesn't have the GA quite completed yet. So once the GAs do come online, then maybe things get once more kind of dicey and 50-50 situation. But Annex is just, he is so monstrous at this moment, almost at 100% crit, but the wall comes out.
Uniboy looking for Jackpot once more, gets the knockback. He stayed alive with the wild growth, but just barely. I wanted to ask you that, I think Impunity, yes, they can get the first kill, they can get the resets, but can they actually finish off Little V plus Enzo at this point? It seems so difficult to do now that Little V is online. Now that the Yumi's got a lot of stats he can throw at people, I'm not sure Impunity win with the first kill. Yeah.
It's certainly a tough ask. But I don't think J-Team quite realized that they have the ability to still win even if they lose Rock, and they're playing things a little bit more patiently instead. Jackpot's been really bold with his position.
He definitely feels like someone that plays the lottery quite a bit, he fishes for things, and a lot of times I'm not sure it's good for his health. J-Team are Fall 5 members here, and they have made their way into the river. Impunity taking a big bunch of damage. Alex is stopped. Jackpot going in, but he's almost going to die right off the bat. No, turns it around onto Rock. Rock the first one to fall, and the resets are going through here. Kogure dies here. Jackpot going down next, but Little V and Enzo, they can clear this one up. They're still holding strong right here. The boomerang goes across Little V twice. Onyx charges forward, but he still falls down. He goes into the thrust of face check. He dies. It's a triple kill for Little V, and he's going to hunt down the squad. Yushi's got nowhere to go, and it's going to be an ace for J-Team. This is what I was talking about. I don't think they can finish off the Pikachu.
Yeah, when you dump all your damage onto Rock with your combination, it leaves Lil V able to just run rampant through that fight, and finally Impunity get punished for that mistake. They constantly try to just say, you know what, we're okay with how things are organized right now. We just killed Rock and we can play out from there. They lost both of their frontline champions at the start of the fight. In Rock, in Kongria, there was no frontline left, and they could not find the kill onto Lil V. He stands tall, he gets himself essentially a 2v5 quadra kill. We'll see the replay. Jackpot comes over the wall, and he's just like over forcing these fights way too hard. He doesn't get a quality engage, even though Husky, you know, he's really committed to trying to follow up for his squad. It's just not enough. The space games, and it just boils down to Jackpot just fishing, not for the right engages. He's just really strong-arming these things, and if it works, it works, but right now it's not working.
Yeah, I will say that was a lot closer than I anticipated from Impunity. They actually just completely dodged everything from Uniboy and killed him without much trouble. So I feel almost ambivalent about that because I feel like Impunity could have called it quits after the Talia kill and actually be somewhat fine. They still had a 4v2.
Sure.
So yeah, you know, Jackpot, the initial fight was pretty ugly, forced themselves up a ramp, but all in all, it wasn't even that bad for Impunity. I don't think they're completely out of it, but this time around, they do have to, I think they have to pay a lot more respect to late game Zeri and the possibilities of actually catching up to her. They were way too cavalier on the back end of that fight.
Absolutely.
And
And
as
now,
we have the Baron buff here.
The issue is now you have double Uber buffs, right? JT, they've got Soul, they have Baron, they have Elder. The issue is it might not even take a really good engage from J-Team because of just how much damage now that the Zeri can do. Like one Ultra Shock Laser could one-shot you, as we just see there.
50% HP gone from Yushin, in comes JT. It's not even a double buff, it's a triple major buff at this point. Impunity, they've got no chance fighting in onto this one. They are going to have to wait until the Elder Dragon finally falls off here, and that's going to still be a couple more seconds as we're looking at the bottom left here.
But they
and
go.
J-Team, they're just going in. They're not going to wait until it falls off. Alex gets blown up by Little V. Impunity still waiting across. Jackpot, hookshot just used, no engage potential right now, and Little V is going to lead the charge as an AD carry. Going up against Onyx, he gets tagged twice, has to go back to the fountain. J-Team had the base open. Impunity still looking for that engage potential. Little V fighting from the front line. He's the general, he's charging down on this one, and they're gonna get the combo. In goes the combo, but they still don't find Little V. He holds his ground. He snipes down Jackpot in midair, and J-Team are going to secure what seemed to be a